I just wanted to talk about something in here and something interesting that I was talking to someone some minutes ago, and in the end of the conversation we had like an hour talking, and in the end of the conversation he said to me, choose confusion. And we were talking about in something that he talked about was the Matrix, and we were discussing about uh, ignorance. It's a blessing. It's something that is said on the movie, and we were talking about, is that right? Is that the right thing? Is that the right path to go? Like, just choose confusion, as he said. Like, just that. And how does that make sense? How someone could say that you should choose confusion, or is that right, that ignorance it's a blessing? And when you start thinking about, when you're sure about something, you don't leave any room for improvement. When you're sure about something and you think that that is it, you don't have any room for improvement. If you don't think, and if you never question yourself, if you never question, is that right? Is this what I'm doing the right thing to do? If you never question that, it's so easy. Everything gets so so like, you never you never worried about anything because you don't know anything. And now, it's that's something complicated, because I it's a it's a blessing, and maybe I'm too far away. I'm too far in the extreme of this thought, because it's hard for me to have a decision. Like, I see so much people saying stuff with so much confidence, like they say it as there's nothing else in the world that could change their thought, like their idea. That's it. That's the right thing. There's nothing else someone could say it that will change my mind. Like, they say it with so much confidence, uh, and for me that's impressive, because I I can't do that. I'm always I'm always thinking like, oh, I might be wrong, or maybe I just don't know the whole story. And it's it's really, sometimes it pisses you off, because, like, why sometimes you having a discussion with someone, and maybe I think that's because that's one of the reasons why I don't share my opinions with much people. And even when we are having a discussion about something, it's hard for me to just say what I think, because I always have this back on my mind, like, maybe I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong and this person will believe me, even though I'm saying something completely stupid? I'm just saying something nonsense, and they will believe me. I might just be wrong, but in the same time, how could I do different? Like, how could I know everything if I don't discuss about it? If I don't like, if we don't have this conversation, How can we learn if I'm always holding this to myself? If I'm always holding this, my thoughts, my ideas to myself, how am I going to understand better? How am I going to learn what I'm doing? And it's I was trying to say about something else, and now and I'm out of track. I was talking about how can be how can uh, ignorance be a blessing, and I was thinking in a example that I thought about. Imagine someone in the dark, like when you choose confusion, it's like you are in the dark and you are aware of the dark. You are aware that you don't know everything. You are aware that whatever you're doing might not be the right thing to do, and it might lead you to a path, to a trap, to something that is going possibly destroy your life, or something like that. You're always scared for the next step because you never know what can be in front of you. But a person who choose ignorance, it's like someone that just believes in an idea, or they choose to believe in an idea of someone else's idea, that this idea says, the idea is that you follow in this direction and that's the right direction. Anyone that says different, if they say anything different, they're wrong, they don't know what they're talking about. That's the only way. That's the only right path to go. And when they choose this, when they choose not to see the other things, when they choose not to see what can be in front of them, where this path can lead them, when they choose not to see any of this, they just close their eyes and they just go for it. They don't need to care about what is gonna be in front of them. They don't need to care about what is gonna happen in the next step. They don't need to care about if what they doing is right. They don't need to care about changing directions. They don't need to care about anything. They just go. They just That's it. That's where I'm going. That's it. It's so much easier to think about this. Like you just that's it, you know? I don't want to care about anything. And if someone say otherwise, just ignore them. They're wrong. They're stupid and they don't know anything about what they're saying. So just go for it. So I think that's one thing that maybe that's why ignorance it's a blessing. And why when you choose to how he was saying when he choose the red pill. I'm not talking about that one red pill. When he was using the example of the movie, when you choose the confusion of the unknown, it's complicated. You're always gonna have questions. You'll never be sure about anything. It always can change. You're believing something and the other day you're not, and you're confused again, trying to change directions, trying to find the better way, trying to improve, trying to to know, and it's impossible. Like you can just hope that the path that you choose is not the worst one, and you only gonna find out on the end. And so you're always gonna be worried when you choose confusion, when you choose to try to understand things. Like, is always gonna be this feeling of not knowing where you're going, not knowing if that's the best way to go. And other example that comes to mind is, imagine people that studies the universe, studies the outside of our world, like NASA, for example. Imagine if they find out that there is a meteor, like, I don't know how, meteor, like a big rock, like almost the size of Earth, coming in at Earth at full speed, and it's gonna hit, like, all the calculations, everything, they know for sure is going to have a collision, and there's nothing you can do it. So for people who knows that, all of them, they're going to have different different actions, different ways to live with that, to live with this truth that there is a big rock coming and we all gonna die. Some people will just freaked out. They're going to run away. They're going to, I don't know, some people try to end themselves. Some people just sit in a chair and watch it happening. Some people will spend all their money that they have been saving for something else. Some people will, I don't know, go for their families. Some people will be fine, like, yeah, would happen anyway. I would die anyway. So doesn't matter if it's now or in 100 years. We all gonna die anyway, so might be by a meteor. And but the people who doesn't know that, the people who are just living their lives, they keep going. They keep going. They don't need to care about anything. They don't need to think about anything. They just don't care. Even, I don't know if there is a new, if they share this. I imagine there is some people who just don't believe it. You could say to them, like, it's going to happen. There's calculations and everything. In a month or something, we all gonna die, and they just gonna look at you and say, no. Oh, it's a bunch of lies. So some people will still choose the ignorance. There's still people who believes that the earth is flat. So there's still people who will not believe on that. And what they're gonna do? They're gonna just leave about it. They're just gonna live their lives how as nothing's happening. Everyone else is gonna be freaking out because they don't know if that's right or not, if it's gonna hit or not. Everyone's worried about what is gonna happen next. They just leaving. They just ignore all of that. So I don't know if I can explain exactly how I feel about it, but I was just trying to make sense of this this thing that everyone says, like, ignorance is a blessing. And I was just trying to figure out if that's true or not, but I think it makes sense. I don't know. that's the point. I never know anything. We know, we all never know. Might I might as well in a couple days of tomorrow just watch this video right now and look how dumb our I was. Like, look at this guy. You know, I don't know. I was just trying to figure that out. It's just something that stuck with me. Like, that's really interesting. Ignorance, it's a blessing. If you choose not to believe, there's nothing to worry about. If you choose to believe in an idea, you see that a lot on politics. Some people choose to believe, maybe all of us choose to believe in something, choose to believe in an idea, and choose to believe that their idea, the idea that they are believing in, is the right one, and everyone else is in the wrong, and they are doing the right thing. And it makes sense that this is going to bring you peace, because you don't have to think by yourself anymore. You don't have to worry about what am I doing is right. You just ignore all of that and just, yeah, it's right. It's 100% right. I'm going that way, and that's the right way only. So much easier. You don't need to think about anything. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense that ignorance is a blessing. But also, it makes sense what this guy said to me. Choose confusion. Choose to be confused. Choose questioning. Because if you never question yourself, you never learn. You will never learn. You will never change anything. You always gonna walk in the same direction, and the same direction might be not the right one. So if you don't question it, you're not changing it. So even if it's harder, I think we should choose confusion, because make us think, make us discuss about stuff, and make us uncertain. And something that is really interesting, it's kind of related to this, is that we need, I think, I don't know, I might be wrong. I'm never sure about anything, but there is this thing. You need a place, you need the possibility of being wrong. You know, if you don't allow people being wrong, if you don't allow people to talk freely, even though they're wrong, they're not gonna change. They will never change. They will never question themselves. They will never learn what is the right way. So you need place, and you need a way for people to express everything they think about, everything. Because yeah, they might be wrong, but is with this like this change, this communication of different ideas, that you find the best one. I'm not saying the right one, because I don't know if you could be sure about something in this matter. You could be sure about 2 plus 2 is 4, but in other aspects of life, it's we wish was that simple. So I don't know. Today I was just more thoughtful. I was just more confused. And who knows? Maybe I'll look back in this video and I'm just gonna laugh from everything I said. But that makes a lot of sense. So the final thought is choose confusion. I might be wrong. I might be wrong though. So I don't know. You choose for yourself. Don't believe me. I might be wrong, but I told you. Choose confusion.